is like. So here we go. I don't know how much of any of this you'll be able to hear. So it's probably not the best to do an in-drive video, but I've done a few miles with all the new setup, and it's, well, let's be blunt, it's like a 30% increase in gearing. It's fantastic, of course it's fantastic. And there's plenty of people that have this in a 2 1/4. They can let me go. Bring it up, thank you. And the 2 1/4 pulls it, no problem. So the V8, equally no problem. Funnily enough. So the video is probably a really bad example, because it's going to sound very noisy still, but there we are. The other one, the clutch, I can't believe the difference the clutch makes. It's much more just positive in feel. I've done about 400 miles now, I think, which is sort of bed in time for an organic block clutch. But from the get-go, really, it felt amazing. We're not doing particularly anything extreme with it, so yeah, hence why I imagine it felt fantastic from day one. But it's so much better. It's smoother. It's quieter. Just feels like a new car, really. I wish I'd done it when I rebuilt the box in the first place. I'm not 100% sure because they offered it when I did the rebuild. So if you're watching this and you've got a 4-cylinder, then there are plenty of reviews. I think there's a couple on the Ashcroft site where they've got a 2 1/4. Don't seem to have any real issues with it pulling the high gearing. The original gears are so low anyway. I'd be surprised. But what difference does it really make? So when you're driving around a village, that's probably the worst bit, I'd say, out of the whole thing, because you're sort of in between second and third. But the V8 will poodle along in third without an issue, really. Sounds right, doesn't it? But motorway, 15, no problem. Again, this is going to be an awful example. I don't know what the microphone is going to do. Considering the quality of my Bluetooth phone calls, probably not great. But on the off chance this is working, I've got the audio from the GoPro as well. That's 50. And this is me talking with a normal voice. Obviously the windows are open, it's a really hot day. I'll cook alive in this box, but yeah, that's 50 miles an hour. And all you have from the engine is just a hum. Before, at 50, you were starting to think, oh God, I wish I had a 5th gear. I also wish I had a tacho, so I can tell you what RPM it was, but the standard is, I think 60 is about 4,000. But obviously they're no different with the V8 because it's gearing, but yeah, wow. There you go, that's 50 miles an hour. In fourth, obviously. Trying to think what else I suppose we'll talk about on that now. Oh, jumping in and out of third and fourth. Definitely made a difference. Getting that where the spigot bearing had gone all funny. So that definitely definitely was a cause of making it worse. I think so. In that 400 odd miles, I think it's done it once on a steep decline, sort of towards the bottom of it. So a little while in the sort of overrun, slowing down in fourth, it's popped out of gear once. Whereas before, it would do it. Well, every time you go down a hill, you'd have your hand on the gear stick. I'll put it that way. So if you're getting more jumping out of third, fourth than would be suggested in a 381 Series 3, then yeah, check your clutch, spigot bearing, and the alignment of the whole thing. Also, the winds go on. That's probably one of the biggest things. It whined like a bitch. That goes lovely. It's still a very old military Land Rover, and you sort of drive around in a big washing machine, a big V8 washing machine. Who doesn't want a V8 washing machine? V8s make everything better. Unicorn set there. It's basic. I mean, really, it's a rubbish union mold, isn't it? So uphill in fourth. And the V8, is this a perfect combo for Series 3? Let's ask ourselves that. So, if you want higher gearing, what are your options? The Ashcroft set. Let's say if you can do the work yourself, you're parts only, so you're 400 quid. Plus a loft clutch, 240, I think, the power clutch option. That's 50 again. You might do some other sundries. Let's call it 700 quid with a clutch. What are your other options? You could do LT77 swap. Then you've got to get into all other stuff. So your props are wrong. You can move the end. Well, I suppose you move the engine, put LT77 onto the series transfer case. That would mean you haven't got to play around with your axles, because you'd be selectable four-wheel drive still. You can do a straight LT77 swap with a Defender or Range Rover transfer box. Then you've got to change your axles. Well, you've got to change your front axle anyway. Or you can use freewheeling hubs, have those unlocked. I think that sort of gets over the constant four-wheel drive issue. Remember, Series 3s have UJs in the front axle, in the drive shaft, so that means you can't have constant four-wheel drive. If you use four-wheel drive on the road, you'll pop something. The other options? Well, the easiest, obviously. So an LT77 swap. What's an LT77? I don't know, 500-600 quid, something like that. Not rebuilt. A rebuilt one, I think you're probably £900,000, something like that. Then you've got to sort of out with axles, like how you can do that. So you're probably 1,200 quid, 1,300 quid, something like that. And these are all guesses off the top of my head. So don't shoot the messenger. Let's be. What else have you got? You could leave everything as it is and change the diffs. That's probably the cheapest. I don't, off the top of my head. So you basically change your Rover differentials over to the ones fitted to a Defender. Again, or Range Rover. Or Discovery. That'll give you a raise. I don't know what it is. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking about 20-25%. By doing that, you can leave everything else the same. If you've got a civilian Series 3 or 2A, that's probably a very good one, because that's going to be fairly cheap. The diffs are really long-lived, apart from the oil seals. So a pair of those, put a few hundred quid, swap those in, you've got higher gearing. I think there's a certain age range you have to aim for, because, or change the drive adapters on the end of the axles though, because the splines will be different. So whether you've got a 24 or a 10 spline. What else? I mean, well, I tell you what, if you did that even with, that's tight, love. Yeah. Very narrow, seriously. So yeah, you can do 10 spine, that one, either you need rebuild dips from Ashcroft. I think they're 400 quid each, 300 quid. You have 2 brand new dips and higher gearing. What else? Fairy overdrive, obviously. Oh well, I'd say, yeah, you could go for the overdrive, but I think the price is bonkers. It's like for 2.5, 3 grand. No thanks, Jesus. That's crazy money. In my opinion, that's crazy money. So fairy overdrive, 25 to 28% increase in gearing, something like that. Something squeaking. You might pick one up second hand for anywhere between 500 to 1500 quid, and that's an unknown condition. Do you want one in unknown condition? They've all been around for a very long time. That's my issue with those. And you can get rebuild kits, but some parts are getting scarce. There's certain gears you can't get anymore. So that's not ideal, is it? Let's say a rebuild fairy overdrive, or what a good one, it must be 1500 quid. Easy, must be. Going on to the A1. Well, I'm going to keep the light if I shut that. And they're not that strong either. They do have issues. So they're an okay one. For me, and if you can do it yourself, or you've got other gearbox issues, it's the Ashcroft kit all day. Your low range isn't affected. I think 60 might be a little bit optimistic for talking, because there's something rattling. We'll do a test, so the microphone might not pick this up very well. That's 60. Try it. I'm going to continue talking. If this is a load of rubbish, I'll put some music over and I'll delete it. If you've got anything wrong with your gearbox and you're taking it out for any other reason, doing a clutch, just do the Ashcroft. Yeah. You can then ignore the labor. You can basically, if you're having to pay someone to do it, you can ignore the labour of taking the box out, because you have to do it anyway. So all you're really doing is the labour of rebuilding the transfer case. But it's not, as you saw in the other videos, it's not really a lot to it. And it will just make it so much nicer to use. You will use it more, trust me. Value-wise, I don't know, I've never seen one for sale with the Ashcroft gear in it, but an overdrive certainly adds a bit of value. And they're pretty meh. Have you ever been in a Series 3 and thought, you know what I really need is another lever to sort of out with? No. This, you only got to do 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. You haven't got to go 1, 2, the man crying by the side of the road. That's weird. That's another thing with overdrive. You've got to piss about another lever as well. It's not like it is on an MGB where you've got the little switch, it's an electronic overdrive. So, no, that's it. I think 100% this kit is fantastic. And it's just gears as well. I mean, I'd be very surprised if the gears are of poor quality, I'll pay it that way. But the companies who've got the reputation such as Ashcroft, they're not going to sell crap, especially on a product they design themselves. So I've got 100% faith in it as well. There we are. I really should have done a video prior. I mean, here, look, we're overtaking something. Is that not the best possible review for this kit? We're doing an overtake. So there you are, really. That's 50 miles an hour. 1660. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed these little videos. This will be a little short one just to round off that project before we move on to the TVR ones, unless I've already put the TVR one out, I don't know. And then I'll probably just do little ones on this whenever we do something of interest, really. I'm going to play around with the breathers a bit, but I'm still not 100%. I've got that right. That's not very interesting. We're just going to fit a cheapo. Ooh. Is that Silver Dawn? Just fit a cheapo oil catch can kit. Really? Ooh. Just because I want to relocate a breather from sort of over there to somewhere else. What are you doing? It's like it's wobbling in front of me. I would have done an off-road section. There's no green lanes around here at all. The only one that there was has now been paved. And that sort of feels like it takes the point away, really. Anyway, I think I'll sign off there. Thank you all very much. Hope you enjoyed these videos. Hope you enjoy the new ones. Hope you're enjoying this silly little venture. Thank you. Bye bye.